You used to call me on my. You used to. Yeah.
Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. Spoiler, it definitely was not the last one. There were 8 more, actually. 4 of them were the Paramount Friday movies. It was released in 1984 and holds a 51% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6 on IMDb. It's widely regarded as one of the best Fridays and contains the most nudity and gore out of the films released by Paramount. Part 4 was directed by Joseph Zito and, as usual, produced by Frank Mancuso Jr. The big stars of the movie are Kimberly Beck, Corey Feldman, and Crispin Glover. Most of the other actors were smaller and lesser known other than Peter Barton. This time around, Jason is played by stuntman Ted White, being the technical 5th actor to play Jason, his precursors being Ari Lehman, Warrington Gillette, Steve Dash, and Richard Brooker. His performance of Jason is truly terrifying. He stated that he intentionally made Jason move more faster and made his kills more swifter and violent, and it definitely shows in the film, having still scaring the shit out of people to this very day. The film revolves around a family named the Jarvises, and the horny teens in this one are just a fucking B-plot in the overarching narrative. They're literally just there to do drugs, fuck, and then die, in that order. Another huge standout in the film, besides the titties, are the gore effects. Makeup artist Tom Savini returned to the series to kill off his creation, Jason, and his influence seemed to carry on as a tribute through Tommy Jarvis, who has a passion for special effects and shares a name with Savini. The gore is amazing, and Savini brought all of his tricks to the table for this one. Filming took place in October 1983 to January 1984. Now, that must have been a cold fucking shoot, especially for all the naked people. Dudes are probably walking around looking like turtles. Anyways, on to the story, however short or long that may be. Directly after the night of hell that took place in Friday the 13th, Part 3, Jason lays dead in the barn. They finally killed him off, and everyone in Crystal Lake can rest peacefully. Just kidding. He's obviously still alive and even more pissed off, having been fucked up by 2 different chicks in the span of one weekend, I think. I'm not sure what the timeline is, but either way, he is fucking pissed. He kills his way out of the hospital and seems to walk his happy ass all the way back to Crystal Lake. Unless he pulled a Michael Myers and stole a car, which is kind of funny to think about. Anyways, as Jason makes his way back to home base, we meet the characters of the film. A bunch of horny teens whose names I can't even fucking remember, except for George McFly, played by Crispin Glover. We all know him as the dad from Back to the Future, and I'm not going to even bother saying his real name because it doesn't matter. Might as well call him Dead Fuck like his friend does, who also doesn't have the right to receive a name shout-out because he's going to die, either way. And he's also incredibly annoying and probably doesn't get any pussy, besides the fact that he makes fun of George McFly because he's having girl troubles. We are introduced to the Jarvis family next, and they're the typical adorable stuck together like my ass cheeks after the gym kind of family. I'm guessing the mom divorced the dad and moved to the lake for a new start, but that's just my theory. Anyways, Tommy, the son, I'm not sure how old he is, probably like 10 or 11 years old, is a very eccentric kid who wants to learn more about life. I assume that he's been kind of sheltered, mainly kept in. He's kind of introverted, and he has a passion for special effects, like I stated in the intro. His older sister, Trish, is a reserved, good girl type, strong candidate for the final girl. The mom is cool too, and they have a dog named Gordon, who is also pretty cool, and not to mention, an adorable shade of golden. During a trip out, Trish, Tommy, and Gordon meet a hiker named Rob, and he's searching for his sister who has been missing. Spoiler alert, it's the chick from Friday the 13th Part 2, Sandra, the one that got stabbed through the bed, who was like fucking, and she's very dead. I don't know how the paramedics didn't find her body in Part 2, considering, you know, it showed Jenny being carried away on a stretcher, but I'm not even going to bother thinking about that because the writers probably didn't think about that either.
No problem.
Once the kids get settled into the party house across from the Jarvis house, night hits the next day, and things get interesting. After some partying, some drinking, some booze, and some drugging, the kids start getting horny. That sounds bad. The teenagers, that also sounds bad. the dumbasses start getting horny. Here we go. And they all start getting ready to shack up with each other. One girl who has a boyfriend, and he's hitting on one of the other girls, and she gets mad and decides to go for a walk. She goes down to the lake and hops in a boat, naked for some fucking reason. And she looks incredibly cold. And then Jason just fucking stabs up through the boat, and she makes the dumbest fucking death face in the history of cinema. Here, let's zoom in on that real quick. Okay. Then, the boyfriend comes looking for her down to the lake like an idiot, and he gets stabbed in the fucking dick. Here's a death montage.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone, late night when you need my love. And I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing.
Hey, how come you turned that off?
Relax, Jimbo.
The third act of the movie, the best parts of the movie. Rob attempts to fight Jason, but he is killed half off screen, half on screen, to a very ridiculous death scream, or screams to be exact. Oh my god, he's killing me, it hurts so good, holy shit daddy, oh fuck. And then Trish runs out of the house, and the epic chase scene begins. Once she tries squaring off with Jason and fails especially, her crafty little bro gets an idea and decides to do a very convincing Billy Corgan cosplay and asks Jason to join his band. Jason seems to be intrigued by the idea of playing egotistical music fuckery, and Trish starts beating his ass once again. Then he gets her on the ground, almost winning and killing her. Then Tommy comes in and cuts Jason's career short. Ha! By lodging a fucking machete into his dome. The makeup effects here are spectacular. He's just like sliding down on the machete, looking all sad. Then Tommy comes in. Oh, fuck. Then Tommy goes a little psycho and continues hacking Jason up after he's for sure dead. Like, stop, bro, he's dead. Well, damn, you know, a kid did what multiple women, not saying anything, and a pair of camp counselors couldn't do. Actually fucking killed Jason. I'll be damned. That brings us to the end of this movie. Tommy and Trish wake up in the hospital, and after some sweet hugs, Tommy gives her eerie stare into the camera, warning us that part 5 is probably going to happen. Spoiler alert, it did. And, to be honest, it's not that bad. I like part 5. It has some sleazy charm to it. Maybe we'll do that one day. Anyways, that was my retrospective of Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter, not so kinda, but actually, maybe final chapter. Actually appreciate the movie for what it is, and come back to it as often as I do for part 3. My only issue is some of the acting isn't quite Academy Award worthy, but you know, what can you do? They hired anybody and their brother for these movies, especially if you had a pair of nice tits. You most likely could be in a Friday the 13th movie. Anyways, I'll see you guys for the next video, which will most likely be Resident Evil 4 Remake. This is Ashworth Games, signing off.
squirt, no one cover my mouth.